Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we got a little bit something different for you today. In the previous video I talked about this 1974 Plymouth Duster, and on this video I'm going to show you how we're going to take this thing running. Unfortunately, this is one of those victim cars from Harvey. This car went underwater. In fact, if you look at the windshield, you can see about how high the water got there. You can see about where the water mark is. So that tells you that it went really completely under and everything. And believe it or not, this was a running car up to about until Harvey, and everything hasn't been turned over. Nothing's been done to it since then, other than just letting it open up, dry out while the hood and the windows are down, the vents are open, to let this thing air out because it is extremely dusty. Well, it's got a smell to it, and eventually the interior is going to have to come out. But in this video, we're just going to concentrate on getting that motor running. That's right, we're going to take this motor and we're going to try to make it running by the end of the video here. And you can see it hasn't really been on the road since about 2003, so we're hoping at least maybe we can get her running and go up and down the street over there. So without any further ado, let's get started. First thing you need to do is go ahead and disconnect one of your battery cables. If you're like me and don't have one, you're good to go. This way you'll just be safe. That way there'll be no problems. Next, you want to drain your oil, and you can see all that water coming out. Nothing but water. Oh my goodness. Whew, she really took a lot in. And let's be glad we drained all that water out of the engine, because look how much came out. Alright, next thing, while you're letting your oil drain, go ahead and pull your spark plug wires and your spark plugs, get them out. And if you do like me, I went ahead and numbered them, labeled them, so that way I wouldn't forget, because sometimes I get a little dose of CRS. Alright, so you do that so that way we can get the water out of the upper part of the cylinder up here. So when we crank the car over, it'll shoot it out. So that way we will get that out. Once you got the spark plugs removed, go ahead and connect your battery up. There we go. And go ahead and give it a few cranks, turn over. Alright, now we crank her over. Alright, let's see what we got over there. Whew, that was a lot of water. It came pouring out. Oh, man. It even got all the way out of it. It's a good thing I moved my truck out of the way. It wouldn't have went all that stuff all over my truck. Whew. Alright, on to the next thing. Alright, moving on to the next step. Be sure to disconnect your battery cable over there. We're going to move on now to the carburetor. I can imagine it's pretty, got a lot of water in it. It probably needs to be cleaned out. Now, normally you could probably go get a rebuild kit for these things, and that's probably the right thing to do. What I'm going to do is just take it off, clean it up, and if nothing's that bad, I'm going to put it back together, because I haven't made up my mind yet whether I'm going to keep this engine or go somewhere else and everything, or have a different setup completely. So I'm not going to try to burn any money that I don't have to. So as long as I be really gentle and careful, we can hopefully reuse it as is. Also, I want to point out there's a good chance that your water got in the distributor too, so you want to take your cap off. As you can see in here, we got water droplets, so we need to get all the moisture out of there. So we'll just wipe that out, maybe take some WD-40, spray it in there and wipe it all clean and try to put it back in. Also check your rotor, see if it's still good. This one looks okay. It looks like we got a little bit, if you can look down there, you can't quite probably see as good on the video as I can. Maybe I can zoom in for y'all. You can see it's a little moisture in there, so we'll try to wipe some of that out and get it cleaned up, and that'll help it a lot better, because with moisture in your distributor, it will not fire off, or it will not be very good. It won't run very good. Alright, so let me get this cleaned up and then we'll move on to the next. Alright, now that we got most of the water out, we're ready to move on. As you notice, I've already put a new fill filter on. Already put the plug back in. Ran it to auto parts store. Spent about 37 bucks, not bad. Alright, but there's something here I wanted to show you, but I got this oil filter off, and you can probably see it's probably been on there for a long time. So long that I had to really crunch it with those big old clamps there. But the thing I want to show you, if you pay attention, that you always need to do whenever you do an oil change is before you throw your filter out, make sure the rubber seal is on here. As you can see, it's not here. It's still down on there, so it'll be no big deal to pry off it. Make sure that when you take your oil filters off, even on just doing a normal oil change, that you have this rubber seal that's up here. If not, you're going to be double gasketing, you're going to be leaking everywhere, and you'll have a big mess, and then you'll have to do it over again, and you'll be angry, and you'll throw stuff, and you'll break stuff, and then you'll be like, why did I do that? So anyway, well, let me get that done. We'll put the new filter on, and I got to clean spark plugs, and we should be just about ready to go. Oh, we got to put oil back in. That's right. All right, so let me get to it. All right, guys, you can see I've got one spark plug clean here on my left, and on the right is the one of the 6 that came out. And you can see how nasty it is. So we're going to clean them up before we put them in. They'll look nice and pretty like this left one right here. And if you're just wondering how to clean it, you know, there you can take some carb cleaner, get a little wire brush, get all the dirt out, make it look nice and pretty, and put it back in. It should be ready to go. Now that we got the plugs back on, the plug wires, oil filter, we're now ready to put oil back in the car. Okay, one of the most important things you're going to have to do after you've done most of everything else is if your water level got higher than your gas tank here, where the filler is, that filler, which as you can see on the windshield, we clearly without question got a little bit higher than our gas cap. So we're going to have to drain the gas out of here to get all that watery down gasoline out and put some fresh gas in it. Otherwise she's going to be no bueno. Alright, when you're getting ready to siphon this thing out, there's several different ways to do it. You can do it the old-fashioned way of putting the hose in the tank and sucking on it and let gravity do all the work. Or you can just use what I got. If you got one of these laying around, an electric fuel pump. I just put the hose on one end, stuck it in the gas tank, and just had the other go into a 5-gallon bucket and just drained it until she was dry. And just had a 12 volt, had just hooked the battery up to it, and then voila, we were in business. Saved me a lot of time, and I don't have nasty breath now. Yeah. So if you got one of these laying around, you might think about using one of these. Now after you get the fuel siphon and the carburetor is being rebuilt right now, but after you get it put back on and everything, the first thing you might want to do is please note that you probably didn't, even though you think you got all the gasoline out, if you didn't really go through it, you're probably going to still have just a little bit of residue left over. So I suggest getting one of these little IV bottles right here and put some gasoline in it and hook this up to the carburetor and have it run directly into the line. And then get a coffee can and let this run out a little bit until all the water, all the little rest of the residue, water, whatever comes out. Run about a coffee can or two through it until it's, you know, when you can take it and smell it and it smells like good gasoline, then you're good to go. This way we won't mess up our new freshly rebuilt carburetor and everything. I had to actually go borrow this because I actually don't own one. And I honestly starting to think this is a good thing to own, so I might actually have to look one up in the future here. Alright, but that was a little tip there, just so you don't mess up your new freshly rebuilt carburetor there. Alright, just got the carb rebuilt here. Had to spend about 20 bucks more at O'Reilly's to get a carb kit. This is the same carburetor. She looks a lot different now. She's all cleaned up and she looks beautiful. So let's hope she runs as good as she looks. So let's get this bad boy on the car and see what happens. So let me get to that and we'll have this thing rolling here pretty soon. Alright guys, we got our carburetor on. So let's give this thing a whirl and see what happens. Alright guys, how about that? She's running, maybe not at her best, but she is running. And that is a big major step on getting the rest of the work done on this. That will set the tone and everything's going to be good. Still haven't decided whether we're going to keep the 6 or do whatever. I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. Maybe I'll make it a poll question in the top right hand corner on the video there. You might see it, whether what we should do with it. Maybe I'll get y'all's opinion. Maybe you guys got a Duster of your own that done some pretty cool stuff I'd like to share. Feel free to share. I need ideas. I'd like to see what other people's done, and I might copy them when we do them. Or I might do something completely my own work. Who knows? And everything. So that is going to top this video off. It is running. You can expect to see more of this car in the near future. In fact, I think I'll try to see if I can do a walk around video so you guys can get a better look of the inside the trunk, and how good how well this thing was taken care of, how good a shape it is. Now there is some rust. I'll show some more of that, but I think the next video I'll do a walk around and we can all look at this thing together and probably get ready for a restoration on this, because this is one car that I'd love to keep. I think this is a cool car, and I'll tell you guys all about it, how I got it. Later on, I'll tell you guys. So it didn't cost me hardly anything. I got it on a trade, basically. I just swapped some labor and a little bit of money, and it was less than a few $100 in about 2 days worth of my time. Not a bad deal in my opinion. Not a bad deal at all, guys. All right, to all my subscribers out there, I want to apologize for taking so long for making videos. I don't know if any of y'all were aware of it. YouTube got rid of the YouTube video editor, so I had to go buy some. And then when I did buy some, I bought Pinnacle to help, do some fancy video editings. I bought some good up-to-date equipment, got a tripod. So as you can see towards the end of the video, a lot of the videos are actually standing perfectly straight. I got both hands, you can see them. Not even, hey, how about that? So hopefully we'll have a little bit better quality videos coming out. Right now Pinnacle is being a little bit of a pain. It's not cooperating with my computer, and their tech support is not the greatest. Apparently their tech support's on the other side of the planet, and they can only do it late at night when they want to do tech support around, I was up the several nights at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning for them to do it, and they just, can't do it. Got to bump you up to another level. Come back tomorrow. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I went ahead and just downloaded a free software off the internet and gonna post some videos. So hopefully this will keep you guys going here for a while. I want to thank you guys for being patient, and I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. We're nearing almost the 1,000 marker there. I think we're at 845. So let's see if we can get a little over 100 and see if we can get up to 1,000. That would be awesome. That'd be a great milestone, 1,000 subscribers there. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it today, and I hope to see you next time. We're going to probably put out some Gold Wing videos here. And I also got some other Harbor Freight tools that I've actually already shot and be editing and putting together later for you guys. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please stick around, because you'll be seeing a lot more of those coming up soon. Real soon. All right, guys. Until next time, you guys stay safe out there.